Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to start DIY Ornament Week. We're going to start with these floss trees. We're going to use clothespins. Can you believe it? Clothespins to make trees. And we're going to use floss. This is embroidery floss. It's from Walmart. Or the other option, we're going to make one with cotton twine from the Dollar Tree. Of course, you can use any baker's twine, any kind of thing that you want. It doesn't have to be with the floss, but the inspiration piece was with floss. So the first thing you want to do is you want to take one of the clothespins whole, and then you want to take one and separate the two arms and crack the arm in half the best you can. Now, depending on how your strength is, or your husband's strength, or your daughter's strength, or your child's strength, or whoever is there to help you, will determine how long your trunk is. And I found that any size trunk is not objectionable. To be honest with you, this is actually a pretty long piece I got left over with. It was a little longer than half, and I found that to be quite okay. And it was okay that it wasn't snapped evenly. If you know what I mean, the part of it is actually longer. You'll see here. Wait, ready, go, Jerry, snap, snap, snap. All right. So you see that part of it is, it's not snapped evenly across. It's got a little bit almost like a tab that's a little thinner, and that's actually going to work to our advantage. So if that actually happens to you, it's no big deal. But you want to insert this perpendicular in the space, and I'm going to end up sliding that skinny piece in a section of the spring, and that's going to help hold it, the spring that holds the clothespin together. I'm not going to lie, it's easy, but it's not like boom, instantaneous, because you have to manipulate it a bit. We're going to throw in some hot glue on both sides and just let it set up for a minute. And while it's setting up, I can just tell you that I got these, most of these DIYs for this week from Pinterest. Actually, pretty much all of them. Some I had just done in the past, and Pinterest inspired me to show you how to do them. And some we're just redoing in farmhouse style, different from what we did last year. So now, if you've never worked with or bought embroidery floss, it kind of looks like this. At the Walmart, it comes in multi-packs as well as individual. And I'm just showing you it's numbered. This is a DMC 3052. I'm pretty sure that's what it said. Actually, it said 3057. I apologize. And this is just the green that I picked. I used to do needlepoint, so I have a whole box of embroidery floss, and this was just the green that I liked. It's very farmhousey to me, very sage looking. And what you're going to do is you're going to start with a dab of hot glue, and this is optional. It's just going to help. If you're doing this with kids, it will just help. You can also throw down some double sticky tape onto the side of the clothespin, or you can just hold it and wrap over yourself. Which is another option. But I just find the hot glue to be that much simpler. And then you're just going to wrap it. I'm trying to get as close to the top as possible without it slipping off. And that's not necessarily 100% necessary. That does sound silly, doesn't it? Necessarily necessary. Because we're going to put a bow at the top. But if you want to just do just floss, then you want to go ahead and cover the top as well. But you're just going to wrap it around. And I kind of at first, the first time I did this, I wrapped it so neat so everything was like perfectly, lined up like I like to do things. But I really didn't like it, to be honest with you. I thought it looked so much cuter when it was just haphazardly wrapped. So I'm just going to go ahead and haphazardly wrap it as I unknot my floss. I have a lot of floss that's already put onto these little floss cards, but I wanted to show you one out of a spool. If you've never worked with floss before too, it's the best way to make tassels. It's already bound like this. You just have to cut off a little piece to wrap around, make a tassel, cut it off with the other end, boom, tassel done. Anyhow, I digress. But you just want to go from the top to the bottom and make sure you cover all the holidays and all of the spaces. I know it's naughty. Sorry about that. Hashtag crafter problems. Hashtag real crafter problems. I don't know what I was just going to say. So once I get it untangled, it's fine. It just becomes one long string. Makes it a little bit easier to work with. If you want this to be a fatter tree, this is in the style of like a tall skinny tree. You might want to get 2 sets of floss just so you can wrap it the way that you want it. But Otherwise, for a tall, skinny tree, this inspiration is just going to use one whole skein of floss, okay? Now, also would be cute is if you did them in maybe gradient colors of green. Usually on floss, when you get into like the higher numbers, they'll be close in their gradation. Like, I'm just guesstimating around, but like say this is 3057, maybe 3056 is just a shade lighter, 3055 is just a shade lighter than that. So just look to see if that's something you want to do like a gradiated tree. You can do that as well. Okay. So this is just so simple. We're going to get to the end, and then we're just going to put a little glue on the side and glue down the end, which is fine. And then what we're going to do is we're going to create the hanger and the ribbon. Now, I didn't tell you in the beginning any of the embellishments, and I probably won't for the whole week because the embellishments are totally optional for you guys. If you have Dollar Tree ribbon that you want to use, if you want to use not jute hangers, if you want to just use regular floss hangers, you want to take a piece of floss and make a hanger, it's entirely up to you. This is just what I was inspired to do, and I was inspired to share with you. So I've made just a little jute hanger with a big knot, and I'm just going to glue that knot right in the top of the clothespin, if I can stand it up without knocking it over. I'm putting a good dollop of glue in there, and I'm holding it down, and I want it to stand straight up, so I'm going to hold it. If I let it go, it might flop over, and I don't want that. And then don't worry about what the knot looks like, because again, we're going to put a bow on this as tacked like the tree topper, and it's okay. We're going to cover it anyway. All right. And for the bow, I'm using scraps of this black and white gingham fabric that I got at Walmart. This fabric was $1.50 a yard, which is way cheaper than any fabric that you can pick up at the Dollar Tree or the 99-cent only store normally. But I've just ripped it to like a long strip of it so that it's frayed on the ends. And I'm tying it into a bow. And then once I have the bow that I like, and of course, you know, when you make bows, I just make bows by tying them. These little bows, excuse me. Let me say all different things. This size bow with this thickness of fabric, I just make it by tying it like I would tie my shoes. And then I adjust it so that the loops are even by pulling on the tails one at a time and pulling the loops one at a time and then adjusting a little bit each way. And then once I'm done and I cut the tails off the way I like to, because I want that frayed edge, I'm just going to go ahead and pull some of the fabrics, the fabric strings out. This is what they call a homespun fabric, which means it's woven through, not printed on, okay? And it's the same on both sides, so it makes a really pretty bow. And then just put a dollop of hot glue on the knot and add the bow. And that is that simple. So that's the green one. I just thought it was super cute. Of course, I put the bow on the wrong side because there's the finish, but that's okay. It looks homemade, and I love homemade, don't you? Me too. Okay. So let's get on to the next one. The next one we're going to do almost the exact same, but we're going to use cotton twine from the Dollar Tree. So because I'm not calling these Dollar Tree DIYs, I'm not calling these Dollar Tree DIYs this week, but each day I'm going to show you an option that you can make with Dollar Tree products. If the Dollar Tree is the only place that you can shop, there are options to do it with just Dollar Tree products. Like these clothespins are from the Dollar Tree, and this cotton twine is from the Dollar Tree. Now, if you really didn't like the farmhouse look of just the cotton twine, you absolutely 100% can take a magic marker and color this green, because it is 100% cotton and it will just absorb the color beautifully if that's what you want. If you want a green tree and you only have the white cotton twine, you absolutely could do that. But you could also use the green jute. Lots of us have green jute coming out of our ears, so that's possible as well. But I just wanted to show you with the cotton twine, because it does give, and leave it natural, because it does give that new modern farmhouse look. Okay, so we're just going to repeat the process. I'm just using the other half of the clothespin that I snapped in half. Oop, that one doesn't want to stand as balanced as much. Oh, I got glue on the table. Oh, not glue on the table. All right, happens to everybody. So we're just going to repeat the process. Like I said, we're going to take a dab of glue and put it to start off the cotton twine. Just the same way we did before. and just with a dab of hot glue, and I'm going to wrap it around and around and around and around and around. And at first you could see that I was trying to be very meticulous with this because I wanted to show you guys what it looks like with it just wrapped one time in order, but it really, I got about to like the hinge and I was like, nope, that's okay. I'll just do it the way I like it. And you guys can see, if you guys like it, you wrap yours singularly or perfectly lined up, that's fine. I'm not going to go for all that. And if you notice, we're leaving that hinge in there, and the hinge does bulk out a little bit past the clothespin, but it isn't really noticeable once you have it all wrapped up in the twine or the embroidery floss, okay? And now we're just going to repeat the same the whole way. Now for this one, I opted to do a different hanger, but I'm still going to use the same bow because I wanted them to be a set. But there are lots of different ribbon options at the Dollar Tree, as you know. This would look really cute with that cute little red and white gingham ribbon that came out at Valentine's Day. It would look really cute with, if you want to stick with the black and white farmhouse theme, with a little piece of the black grosgrain ribbon or sheer ribbon would also be lovely. Or if you like bling, then it would definitely be cute to do like a little sparkly ribbon or like a sheer iridescent sort of ribbon would be cute as well. So go with the colors that you like. Now the inspiration for this week of being Ornament Week is these ornaments are not only that you can use to decorate your tree, they're not only crafts that you can do with people of various ages and skill levels, but they also make absolutely wonderful gifts. And I sound like a broken record when I say it has been so much appreciated in my family, especially, how much homemade ornaments have meant to them. I feel like the sentimentality of it all is part of it, absolutely. But the fact that somebody took the time and their money to create something for you that you will always have that they created, and you can pass on throughout the generations, okay? So then I just took a piece of the twine to make a hanger on this one, okay? And now we're just going to repeat the bow. Again, I told you that for my my purposes, I wanted the two trees, the only thing that's going to match on them is their bow. But I went ahead and I just used that same fabric. But again, there's lots of different options. I'm just showing you here what that red gingham would look like if you wanted to just stick with Dollar Tree products. But I felt like I definitely wanted it to be black and white. So I went ahead and I went for the more of that black and white fabric that I ripped off. Now I started to calculate that fabric was $1.50 a yard, which it measured 42 inches by 36 inches. And my strips that I'm cutting are about 5/8 of an inch. So I figured I probably got 200 strips at 36 inches long. So I probably got 200 yards of this fabric for $1.50. And let's round it down to 150 yards for $1.50 in case we have waste. Okay. So sometimes it is more economical to get a piece of fabric, especially if you don't mind the raw edges, than it is to buy even ribbon from the Dollar Tree. Okay. And then we're just going to make our little bow, and we're going to do the same thing, repeat the process the same way that we did with the last one. We're just going to glue it right at the top. And yeah, Bob's your uncle. Okay. So once I've had it fiddle-faddled with this ribbon to get the bow that I really like, I'm going to go ahead and I'll trim the edges and fray the edges to how I like. Now you can dovetail these edges if you want to instead of fraying them, but you know, that's not the look that I was going for. Going for more of a farmhouse country towards the primitive end, towards the country end. Just because that homemade feel, you know. And I just think it looks so cute on this ivory colored tree, that the natural cotton tree, right? And that's it. I know, easy. I don't want to hear it. You can personalize these by turning around and writing on the trunk, you know, Aunt Sally 2018 or something. Okay, so that's it. That's the ivory one or the cotton twine one. So I hope you really enjoyed these tutorials so far. I hope you do enjoy the rest of Ornament Week. If you have any questions at all, leave them in the comments down below. Give this video a thumbs up. Share with friends and family. Anybody you know might be interested in making one or both of these, or interested in seeing the rest of Ornament Week. And if you haven't yet, click subscribe. And when you do, a little bell will pop up. When you ring that bell, YouTube will let you know whenever I upload a new video. And as always, take care, God bless, and we'll see you next time. Bye.